DC has villains and entities so powerful they threaten the very fabric of reality itself. These aren't just beings who fight, they rewrite the rules of the universe with a single thought. Some of them are simply unstoppable, or nearly so. We're talking about figures who have never been defeated in direct combat, and when they did fall, it was either because the script demanded it, or because the entire multiverse united against them. These are beings who challenge time, gods, and even the narrative that contains them. That's why, in this video, I've put together a list of 10 DC characters who have never lost, or came dangerously close. Entities whose very presence makes even the greatest heroes tremble with fear. And before we get to the top of the list, get ready, because you'll be surprised by who's behind the most impossible battles in all of fiction. The final entity in this video can't be defeated, because they're the one who writes the ending. Dr. Manhattan was once John Osterman, a physicist who became an almost omnipotent being after a nuclear accident. From that moment on, he ceased to be human. He exists simultaneously at every point in time, sees the past, present, and future as one, and can manipulate subatomic matter with a mere thought. He's not just a powerful being, he's a new order of existence. Dr. Manhattan has erased people from existence with a wave of his hand, reconstructed himself out of nothing. In Doomsday Clock, he faced the heroes of the DC universe, altered entire timelines, and rewrote Superman's destiny, all without taking a single step. In an instant, he drained the life force from most of the Justice League with cold ease, like wiping off a table. He has no physical weaknesses. His only limitation is philosophical, a growing emotional disconnection from the world. Manhattan understands everything, but no longer feels. His apathy makes him vulnerable to decisions that defy his own divine logic. He's never truly defeated, but sometimes allows himself to be, simply because he no longer sees a reason to fight. He has never lost in direct battle. In Watchmen, he simply leaves Earth. In Doomsday Clock, he chooses to sacrifice himself to save what he once sought to destroy. His defeats are acts of resignation, not submission. The Anti-Monitor is the embodiment of multiversal destruction. Born from the antimatter universe of Quard, he isn't just a powerful entity, he's chaos incarnate. While his counterpart, the Monitor, represents order and preservation, the Anti-Monitor is the symbol of inevitable collapse, the end of all light, all stories. During Crisis on Infinite Earths, the Anti-Monitor caused the total annihilation of countless universes. Every attack meant the erasure of entire realities, not just planets, but entire timelines, wiped from existence as if they had never been. Not even cosmic entities could face him alone. He has no traditional physical weaknesses. His only true limit is narrative opposition, cosmic forces and heroes united, backed by story-driven energy manipulation. No individual force ever harmed him in direct combat. The Anti-Monitor was only brought down after a cataclysmic clash of realities, with dozens of heroes, villains, and gods united in a final stand. He was never defeated in a one-on-one battle. His fall was a collective effort, and even then, it almost wasn't enough. Perpetua is the primordial entity responsible for forging the DC multiverse. Before the Monitors ever existed, she shaped entire realities with a single touch. The mother of Mar-Novu, the Monitor, Mobius, the Anti-Monitor, and Alpheus, the World Forger, she represents pure creative and destructive instinct, an ancient goddess who rejected balance in pursuit of absolute power. Perpetua didn't just create universes, she shaped them with intent. She crafted realities designed for war, conflict, and evolution, generating energy through destruction. In Dark Knight's death metal, she rose above the multiverse as an unstoppable force, subjugating gods and rewriting the very laws of existence. Even the Monitors didn't dare face her alone. Her limitation isn't power, it's the narrative cosmos itself trying to hold her back. Perpetua is so overwhelmingly powerful that she can only be stopped when the entire universe aligns against her, and even then, only through metafictional intervention and narrative manipulation. She was defeated by an unlikely combination: a transformed Batman who laughs, intervention from the multiverse itself, and the mechanics of the storyline. It wasn't a fair fight, it was an editorial necessity to restore balance. Mandrakk is the corrupted form of Dax Novu, the first Monitor. When confronted with the infinite weight of narrative, he descended into madness, becoming an entity that feeds on stories, meaning, and hope. Mandrakk doesn't just want to destroy worlds, he wants to erase the meaning of everything, draining the light from fiction itself. Mandrakk destroyed the Monitor multiverse and threatened to consume all of creation. He emerged as a shadow on the edge of narrative, where even the gods feared to look. During Final Crisis, his presence warped concepts, distorted realities, and even made readers question the limits of story itself. Mandrakk cannot be defeated by brute force. His only limitation is the light of stories, the symbolic power of heroism and hope. He was brought down by an improbable union. Superman in his ultimate form, a living weapon created to defeat any narrative threat. It wasn't just a fight, it was the final clash between the concept of defeat and the very idea of victory. Cosmic Armor Superman, also known as the Thought Robot, is not just a powered-up version of Superman, he is the embodiment of heroic victory. Created by the Monitors to battle threats that transcend the structure of narrative itself, he exists beyond time, reality, and even logic. He is a living thought, an idea of Superman activated when everything is on the brink of collapse. In Final Crisis, Superman Beyond, he confronted Mandrakk, the devourer of stories, an entity threatening to consume all narrative. And he won. Even while being attacked across multiple dimensions, even as the multiverse crumbled, the Thought Robot adapted in real time to every threat, surpassing limits through pure will to save. He doesn't fight with strength, he fights with purpose. His only limitation is that he's a narrative tool, an avatar activated only during extreme crises. He doesn't act on his own, he exists to correct the final imbalance. And when the threat ends, he disappears. He has never been defeated. He faced and destroyed Mandrakk, resisted narrative collapse, and fulfilled his purpose completely. There are no records of failure or loss, because he was built to win. Always. Michael Demiurgos is one of the two primordial sons of the Presence, alongside Lucifer Morningstar. If Lucifer represents will and conscious creation, Michael is power. Literally. He carries within him the raw force needed to shape the impossible. The dunamis Demiurgos, the energy that forms reality out of nothing. If the presence is the idea, Michael is its execution. It was with Michael's power that Lucifer was able to create his own universe, but only because Michael allowed it. He's faced celestial armies, cosmic beings, and even Lucifer himself in direct confrontation, without ever being defeated. His mere presence shifts the balance of creation. His power is so pure it doesn't need to destroy to be known. It is the origin of existence itself. Michael is limited only by his values. Unlike other entities, he seeks neither dominion nor rebellion. He's guided by love, loyalty, and morality, which keeps him from unleashing his full power in destructive ways. His greatest limit lies in his inner humanity. He has never been defeated in battle. His rare downfalls occurred by choice, sacrifice, or indirect manipulation. When confronted by Lucifer, their clash ended in balance, never humiliation. He chooses not to win because he understands the weight of crushing others. Lucifer Morningstar is the fallen archangel of light, not from blind rebellion but from questioning. A direct son of the Presence, he represents absolute will, the conscious mind that chooses its own path. If Michael is the force of creation, Lucifer is the idea that shapes it. He is not evil, he is free will made flesh. Lucifer has created entire universes through sheer willpower, without tools or intermediaries. He abandoned hell out of boredom, faced greater deities without hesitation, and even defied his own father by rewriting his destiny. In his solo series, he stood against archangels and entities beyond reality, and won with logic, presence, and existential supremacy. His greatest limit is the freedom he so fiercely defends. Lucifer refuses to obey or manipulate rules he didn't choose, which means he sometimes accepts defeat in battles he could have won. He follows his own logic, even when it puts him at a disadvantage. Lucifer has never been defeated in direct combat. His only losses were existential debates with Elaine Belloc, the successor to the Presence, but even those weren't humiliations. They were accepted as part of the cosmic game he helped create. The Spectre is the literal embodiment of God's wrath in the DC universe. He's not a being with free will, he's a divine agent of vengeance, an unstoppable force that punishes evil with biblical fury. He requires a human host to act, which anchors him to the world of men, but his essence is pure retribution. Where moral imbalance exists, he appears as judgment incarnate. The Spectre has defeated magical entities, erased civilizations, and even challenged the heavens themselves. During Day of Vengeance, the Spectre, manipulated by Eclipso, waged war on all magic. He defeated major magical beings, killed Shazam, and shattered the Rock of Eternity. He was only stopped by divine intervention, not by force. His presence warps reality, and his judgment cannot be resisted by ordinary magic or brute strength. His main limitation is the human host he bonds with. If that host has moral doubts, emotional weaknesses, or internal conflict, the Spectre's power becomes unstable. Additionally, he is bound by the will of the Presence and cannot always act freely. The Spectre doesn't lose due to lack of power, only due to divine intervention or flaws in his host. He has been stopped by superior beings or heavenly commands, but never through direct confrontation. When operating without constraints, no one can stand against him. Elaine Belloc began as a human girl with supernatural abilities, but her destiny was far greater. The daughter of the Archangel Michael, she inherited her father's creative power and, over time, ascended to take the place of the Presence as the new supreme deity of the DC universe. Elaine doesn't rule over the universe. She becomes the very fabric of reality. Heaven, hell, time, space, all of it now exists within her. Elaine rebuilds the cosmos after the cataclysmic events caused by Lucifer, Michael, and the Presence. She absorbs the power of the dunamis, balances light and darkness, and reshapes the entire structure of creation with full awareness. Unlike other gods who reign above the universe, Elaine is the universe. She doesn't impose laws, she is the law. She has no conventional limits. There are no entities above her, no narrative that can contain her, because narrative now flows from her very being. Her only limit is her conscious decision to maintain balance and allow free will to exist within her. Elaine has never been defeated. She has never faced a being who could surpass her, because after her ascension there is nothing left to surpass. No force or character has ever been able to even threaten her divine existence. The Presence is the supreme entity of the DC universe, the absolute God. He didn't just create the multiverse, heaven, hell, and everything in between. He created the forces that create. He is the origin point of every law, every being, every story. While other characters represent aspects of divinity, justice, creation, will, destruction, the Presence is everything. There is no battle, no fight, no resistance. When the Presence speaks, reality obeys. He created beings like Michael and Lucifer to act on his behalf, and even entities like the Spectre are bound to his will. On rare occasions, he has intervened directly, and with just a few words, reshaped all of existence. His power doesn't lie in destruction, but in definition. The Presence has no limits. He exists beyond power scales, beyond narrative, beyond existence as we understand it. If he chooses not to act, it's because he chooses not to. Even the structure of the story cannot force him, because he is the structure. Defeat is a concept that simply doesn't apply to the Presence. He has never been bested, never truly challenged, and never even threatened. When he withdraws, chaos reigns, not from weakness, but from the freedom he allows his creations. So, what did you think of this list? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.